and merry cup of tea to you. It's very cold here in France, so keeping warm how I can. But that's not why I'm making this video. I'm making this video because the past 3 weeks in my life have been very magical and very funny. And I know that something in the story I'm going to tell you can help you if there's been anything in your life that feels stagnant and that isn't quite going the way you'd like it to go. Because what I've learned from this experience is that the reason for that isn't always what you think it is. And this is also a testimonial for Team Have It All, the blogging team I work with, because it's actually as a result of having some conversations with people on my team, in particular Nikki Magdalena, the team co-founder, and a live stream that her and her partner Avram Gonzalez did called How to Fall in Love with Getting Filthy Rich. You know, and if you feel like at those words, then you know, you should probably watch this video, unless you don't want to increase your finances, in which case just stop watching. But basically, I don't know if you know my story, I spent a lot of my life until recently being very obsessed with poverty. You know, one of the things that made me the most sad in the world was when I would see how much poverty there was all around us, you know, and in countries where there's extreme poverty. And I went and studied developing countries, and I was out in the streets campaigning, protesting, writing articles, and basically I thought money was evil, you know, really did. And guess what? I had none of it myself, but I didn't care. But then I got very ill, and I realized that even if you're spending all your time focusing on the things that you care about, you're passionate about, if you don't take care of yourself, you end up not being able to help as much as you really could, because you're ill or you're just stressed out and worrying. So ever since then I've been working through a lot of the issues I've had with money. You might have seen my money inspiration videos, but cut a long story short, what's that got to do with this video? Well, basically about 3 weeks ago I was chatting to Nikki and we were talking about my attitudes to money. And the thing is that no matter where you're at, more is always possible. You know, even if you're a billionaire, you can go on and become a trillionaire. So, you know, we were talking about my attitudes and how I could have a breakthrough to the next level. And something that I realized from that conversation was how much I have romanticized poverty. And J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter, she said something once like, only fools romanticize poverty. And you know what? She's right. You know, because the people that I had always looked up to, maybe you can relate to this, were people like Mandela, Martin Luther King, Mary Wollstonecraft, a women's rights activist, Marx, because I was so leftist, Karl Marx, and these people dedicated their lives to the changes they wanted to see in the world, and they didn't really have much personal wealth. In fact, many of them were poor and struggling and died with no money. And so somewhere in my eyes, I had associated being poor and struggling with changing the world. So what happens if you want to change the world? Well, whenever you start to have money, you get rid of it. And I have been very good at doing that. So I realized how it's actually not true that you can't have money and change the world. You know, like look at Richard Branson. In fact, I started to do some research and I realized that Nelson Mandela was a millionaire when he died. Martin Luther King made a lot of money through his speaking engagements, and he just gave it back into the civil rights movement. Mother Teresa, she raised millions for her hospices. So these people actually had an ability with money, and I realized that this is something that I could have as well, and that I do have. I just had to wake it up. So guess what? About a week later, we had this live stream that I mentioned earlier, How to Get in Love with Falling Filthy Rich. And even more insights came into my mind, and what had been starting to change cracked open. And since then, crazy stuff has been going on. Like, I've had work offered to me out of the blue. I've had my business increase. In fact, 2 of my businesses have increased. I've been finding money on the streets. I've had money, I've been winning money on the lotto, which I never play, but I was given some cards, and I could just feel that money has been flowing to me like a river instead of a stream like it was before. And that hasn't happened because of something outside in the world. It happened because I switched something inside. So this is what I wanted to share with you, is that sometimes the problem you think is the problem isn't the problem, you know. it's not that you need to work harder or that, you know, the economy is not good. It's that somewhere in here, something needs to change. So that's the beautiful thing about working with Team Have It All and with the people that I work with, is that because we're not just blogging, we're not just marketing, we're actually transforming our lives at the same time, because we want to have it all. You know, there's no point having a great business and being wealthy and doing the things you want to do with that money if you are so ill that you can't enjoy it, you know. So because of the work that we do, I've been able to have this transformation, and it's an ongoing thing, you know, it's not just going to stop here. So if you've had stagnant stuff, have a look at it from a different perspective, and if you want to be involved with an online team that is pretty magical, then click on the link below this video, because I think you'll be quite surprised at what's possible, and the video will give you more information about what we do. So it's blogging, but it's way more than that. Okay, so thank you for watching. Let me know if you got something out of this, and share it with anyone you think it could be applicable to, because, you know, if you haven't got all the money that you would like, I guarantee the money is out there. You're just doing something to stop it coming to you. This is what I've seen so much in this past 3 weeks. So thank you for watching, and I'm going to go and finish my cup of tea now. Au revoir.